Today we're going over tip number 2 on the investment checklist, insider transactions. Now don't confuse that with insider trading. The two are very different. Insider trading is illegal. You're acting on information that is not available to the public. And if you get caught acting on that information, you're going to jail. Insider transactions is perfectly legal, and we encourage you to put that on your investment checklist. Insider transactions is anytime an executive of a company wants to buy or sell shares of their own company stock. What they do is they notify the SEC of their intent to buy or sell, and that information becomes public. And we could use that information. So if we're researching a company and we're getting ready to buy it, we can see if the executives are buying the stock also, or if they're selling the stock. If they're selling their shares, that's not necessarily a bad thing. They could be selling shares to diversify their assets into other investments. They could be selling shares to buy a toy. Maybe they want a vacation home or a boat or something like that, and they're selling the shares. They could also be exercising options before they expire. So if they're selling, that's not necessarily a bad thing. We just want to make sure that several executives are not dumping the stock at the same time. That is the bad sign. What we want to see is if they're buying their own company stock. That's a vote of confidence. If they're buying shares of their own company, they may have an opinion on how the company is going to go within the next several months to a year or longer. And if they're putting their money where their mouth is, that's information that we can find pretty useful. They're investing just a couple hundred shares or 1,000 shares or so. That's not the best sign in the world. It's definitely not a bad sign. But what we want to see is that they're putting a large chunk of assets into that stock. And even better, if several of the executives are buying the stock at the same time. So if we are researching a company, we don't want to buy stock simply because the executives are buying it. We still want to put everything through the investment checklist and make sure everything else looks good. But if the executives are buying their own shares, that's obviously something we want to see. So if you want a full copy of the investment checklist, shoot me an email. It's tom@wallstreetvalue.com, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.